What's up, guys? Welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding. And today I'm going to give you a recap of my Olympia experience, the Mr. Olympia of 2018. I competed in the classic physique class, and I'm just going to give you a quick recap because I will be making 2 or 3 more detailed videos about the Olympia. Because I had a lot of footage. We recorded a lot of things from every day that I was there. The food, the training, the supplementation, the preparation, the tanning, etc. And of course the posing on stage itself. The entire experience has been recorded. But to be able to produce a video like that, it takes me a while. So here I am giving you an update of how I felt, the experience, the placing, the shape, etc. So anyway. There's no script for this. I'm just gonna keep talking to you guys just to give you an insight in how I feel about everything and how it was for me. So let's just get started. 14 September, right? September 14th on a Friday was the contest itself. So when I was doing the Chicago Pro, that was also on a Friday, but I arrived on a Wednesday, which only gave me 1 day in between to really properly load up, try to get in conditioning, try to remove the water weight from the plane, from flying over there. That didn't work out. So what we did this time, I actually get a plane trip way before. So we actually arrived on Saturday. So that gave us a full 6 days until the actual competition to properly get used to the environment. Now this was a benefit and a disadvantage at the same time. The benefit of it, and I'm getting right into why the performance on stage wasn't exactly as we intended it to be, is that we were able to actually manipulate the water, manipulate the carbohydrates, etc., manipulate the sodium, the potassium way before, and actually have more than enough time before doing the actual contest. So we were able to actually get me in peak shape a few days before the show. Now the idea and the ultimate plan was to keep me in that shape, because then we know exactly what to do. We knew exactly how to manipulate the water, how to manipulate the sodium, and giving you that crisp look on the skin, which is what I ultimately wanted to achieve on stage. And on Wednesday and Tuesday, I actually already accomplished that with my coach. And then we needed to keep that shape intact. However, I already saw that on a Thursday. It was a little less. It was just about the same, but in the morning, you know those little striations that you see when you're in top shape, like in the quads, the cross striations you see on some areas on your quad to know, okay, I'm really in a good conditioning right now. But on a Thursday morning, I stopped seeing that little detail. And that's when I knew, okay, we're starting to lose the 100% peak shape. And there was really nothing I could have done to prevent that from happening, because there's a rebound effect. Because what we did was go very low salt for a long amount of time, drink a lot of water, and bump up the potassium to really move the water from below the skin into the muscle. But when you do this for too long, you start sweating, your body starts to hold on to every single milligram of salt that you do take in. So of course we're in a different country, we shopped at Walmart, we use different rice, different oats, different this and that. So there's a little bit of extra sodium that I somehow took in, and my body was so sensitive to it at that time that it simply held on to the water below the skin. And every time that I kept drinking, every time that I ate something, it just got worse and worse. And there was nothing we could do to stop that, because the body wants to reach a homeostasis, a stable environment. And the only way to accomplish that is when you go down with the sodium here, it has to go up to, to this level again. So it went up and up and up until Friday. And on Friday itself, I just started to notice backstage, I'm not getting the conditioning in my legs that I'm used to. So I was already quite worried about not being able to show the conditioning that I wanted on the Olympia stage. Because, I met Chris Bumstead, I met Arash, I met David Hoffman, I met Steve Laureus. I met so many more guys. I met Regan Grimes. It was just an amazing feeling to be there. Just an amazing experience to have been there at the Olympia, walking backstage, seeing all those world-class athletes, world-class bodybuilders, all in the same room together. But noticing that I'm not able to show myself at my very best with those guys, I already knew, okay, if I'm not at 100%, I'm not going to be in the top 5. But then my ultimate placing, after having done the contest, was a shared number 14. Like, when you look at the scorecards, they place everybody after 14 the same place, like place 15 and 16 are all shared, so they don't even care about the exact numbers of the placings then, because they all get 80 points, but I got 75 points, and the lower the points, the better it is, because that means that one of the judges gave me a higher place. I mean, a higher place, for example, is number 7 instead of number 8, so that lowers your total amount of points. And so I got 75 points, and the first guy who got 75 points is also in 14th place. So logically, I'm a shared 14, number 14 in the world in classic physique. Of course, that is an amazing accomplishment on its own, but a lot of people, including me, we were at least gunning for top 6, if not top 6 and even top 10. But we didn't accomplish that. But after having done the contest, people saw me perform on stage, and I have to tell you, so many people came up to me, so many people did, telling me congratulations, you look great, you really, are an example of 70s classic bodybuilding, you are what classic physique is all about. And I was so happy to hear that from you guys. It really, the support I get from you is amazing, because you do hear sometimes when you look up to someone and they don't do as well in a show as you wanted them to, that they kind of start not having as much faith in you anymore. But I have to say, every single one of you guys, you're still with me, you still believe in me, and it's just an amazing feeling. And I have to say, I am more motivated than ever to do my very best for the next show, because I learned a whole lot. You have to remember, this is my first Mr. Olympia, the first time in Las Vegas, and the temperature there is like twice of it is in the Netherlands. So that was already something to get used to. Everything was very different. For example, we were at the Orleans Hotel, but actually the pre-judging, starting at 10 a.m., was somewhere else. And all the time we thought it was in the hotel itself, but it wasn't. So at around 9:45 a.m., we figured out, oh, wait a second, it is not at the Orleans Convention Center, it is at the Las Vegas Convention Center, which is like a 20-minute drive away. And we had to take a shuttle bus, we had to wait for it, so it actually was too late already, officially, for my prejudging, which starts at 10 a.m. But before Classic Physique was on, there was Women's Physique, Bikini, Figure, and Fitness, I believe. So 4 classes, but still it gave me some form of stress, knowing that I wasn't exactly on time. And a lot of other guys also had the same problem, beginners like me, fresh guys at the Olympia who never competed there. You could tell that the ones who competed there already, they have the experience. Another example, the 1 minute of posing that you get to introduce yourself. When I tell me you have 1 minute to pose, I think, well, I have 1 minute and not longer. So in my head I thought, okay, I'm doing these poses, that's about 1 minute, I'm going to show it on stage, and when that's done, I walk away, right? But most of the guys who already did contests before at the Olympia, they knew that they could actually extend their posing time beyond a minute, well beyond a minute, and I wasn't aware of that at all. Because even though I was one of the last guys to pose, I was only focused on myself. I didn't watch any of the routines live, I just focused on my own routine. So when I got there, I did my posing routine, and it was one of the shortest on stage, because I was focusing on that 1 minute. That's just something that is, that is something you do when you're not experienced in the Olympia field. So next time, I will take my sweet time until the speaker tells me, that it's over, that I have to walk off stage. So that's what I'm going to do next time. And the conditioning, even though a lot of you guys say, well, in the 70s, the conditioning wasn't the same as it is today. You know, classic physique should stand for the 70s. And of course, that is very true. I do agree that classic physique should be about old school bodybuilding, but nowadays the judges simply choose the more conditioned guys. One of the judges told me, asked me, "Are you happy or are you angry?" I was like after the contest, and he said, "Next time you have to come in shape, next time you have to be shredded." That's what one of the judges told me literally. So I don't have a choice. I have to come shredded at a high top contest like the Arnold Classic or the Mr. Olympia. So that's what I will be focusing on. Of course, I would be able to get a lot more shredded, as you saw. I showed you a couple pictures in this video already. As you saw, I was a lot more shredded than I showed on stage, but I wasn't able to showcase it because of the layer of water under my skin that started to form because we peaked too soon. And that is unfortunate, but it is something that we learned now, because I loaded a lot more carbohydrates than I normally did, because we wanted to be as full and conditioned as possible at the same time. But now we know my limit, that I cannot do an infinite loading phase, because eventually it starts to catch up to me. Combined with the extra sodium, combined with the water manipulation, it's just sometimes a very difficult combination of factors working together that simply adds up to not looking your best on stage. So we learned a lot. But in the end, guys, Las Vegas, wow, what an amazing city that is. It's very hot, but the Strip, we visited a lot of different areas. We visited, of course, all the hotels, the casinos, you know, Caesar's Palace, the Venetian, Paris. We haven't even visited Egypt yet, you know, with the pyramids and the Sphinx. There's so much more to do, but we'll do that next year. But it's just been an amazing experience. It was surreal. It still feels surreal right now that I was actually there. I met so many awesome people. I made friends in the classic physique competitor field. I met a lot of guys who I look up to. I saw the big guys backstage. And guys, it's just been an amazing experience. So I just want to thank you for your amazing support. And trust me, next time, the next contest that I will do, I will take everything that I learned this time and apply it to that one. And you will see a much improved version of me. Even though that currently, I do believe I could have been in the top 6, but even if I was at my very ultimate best that I could be that day, I would not have ended up victorious. I know that they simply want guys with the bigger legs, which is my biggest weak point. They choose guys with the bigger legs, so I don't have a choice. I have to be more conditioned next time, and I have to work on my legs. My upper body can definitely hang with the top guys. It's just a total package that needs to be more proportionate according to the modern classic physique requirements. And I will keep always in mind to keep the 70s look. I will never stop being Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's what I want. That's my ultimate physique, but with bigger legs and more condition. So that's what I'm gonna go for. I'll do my best to make that happen. And guys, I will be making a couple of videos showing you all the footage that we recorded there, and take you from day 1 to this last day of my Olympia experience. You will see all of it, but this was just a short recap of what I've been through. And the people who came with me, I just want to thank them so much. My family, my mom, my dad, my girlfriend, Marley, who has just been an amazing support to me. But all that will come in the videos, as you will see them with me the entire time. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you for your support, and do not forget to stay golden.